use the raise hand feature to ask a question. First question comes from Greg Hunter.
So Deuce obviously just played them. So why is this one going to be different? What do you guys got to do differently this time out to make a different result?
I think we really have to come and set the tone early. I think in that last game, I think we came out flat and gave them a lot of confidence. You know, guys that really don't get to have the ball in their hands with two of their best players out, you know, stepped up and made a lot of plays that game. So I think we need to come out and set the tone and set it early.
Michael Sussman.
Deuce, this group has accomplished a lot of top 10 wins and things like that. How much would it mean to add a conference tournament championship to that list for this group?
Oh, it'd be really huge. I mean, that's one of the things we talk about all the way back in the summer when we first started working out, and obviously doing it for the school and the state would be a tremendous honor.
Next question comes from John and Tony.
Hey, Deuce, how are you doing health-wise, and how difficult was that last week playing all those games in such a short span of time?
Doing a lot better, obviously playing 4 games and I think 8 days takes a stretch on everybody, not just me, but, you know, had some time off here and ready to get rolling.
Was the time off helpful?
Definitely, yeah.
Mentally, physically, walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, I think when, you know, you go through a whole season, everything that's happening, stopping, starting, you know, who's this opponent going to be? And mentally that can take a toll as well. Obviously, being student athletes, you're worried about school and sports. And then when you add something like a whole pandemic onto it, it can take a toll. But, you know, it's what I've wanted to do. I'll do anything to keep playing. So just got to keep going.
Last thing here, Michael, Deuce, did you unplug? Did you just totally get away from it and not think about basketball? Keep your phone off? What did you do during those couple of days off?
Yeah, definitely try to sleep a lot of recovery time. Just, you know, try to take anything that I didn't need and put it away.
No social media?
Try to stay off social media, but that's hard. That's hard.
Thanks, bud.
Our next question goes to Kenan Cummings.
John took my line of questioning there, but Deuce, what has Oklahoma State done in the 2 meetings against you guys to have so much success getting at the rim?
I think they're very good players. Obviously, they do their jobs well, but I think it's a combination of them doing their jobs and us not doing our job. We struggled with defense pretty much the whole year. You know, even Hugs calling us one of his worst defensive teams ever. So obviously that hasn't been out in the air. So I think it's just a combination of that.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Deuce, you guys obviously got to this point last year. I mean, you guys were actually in Kansas City when, you know, obviously the rug got kind of pulled out on the season for everyone. As you know, now it's a year later, as you guys get ready to head back into Kansas City, are there any thoughts about it, you know, being a year later and obviously COVID still here? Is there any thoughts about, you know, just getting a chance to play this again and thoughts of, you know, hey, you know, we didn't get to do this last year?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously being a kid growing up watching conference tournaments and seeing plays like Kemba Walker, even remember back when Deshaun had those game winners, you know, just growing up on things like that and then having a chance to do it and having it taken away from you so quickly, it really hurt a lot of us, especially those seniors that didn't get a chance to play in the postseason. So very excited. Like I said, we want to set the tone early for starting with this game on Thursday and carry it out through the rest of the postseason.
And then as a kind of a different question here, obviously, you know, Cunningham's probably going to play on Thursday, and you guys saw him earlier in the year. I mean, you guys guard good guards. I mean, you guys guard good players throughout the course of the year, but I mean, this kid's probably going to be the number 1 pick or number 2 pick in the draft. Does that add anything more to it when it's somebody of that caliber?
You know, I respect all of my opponents pretty much equally, fear none of them. I'm always going to step up to the challenge, be a competitor. Absolutely. I know he's going to do great things. He's a great player. Obviously, he deserves the accolades he's getting and everything. But as a challenger and a competitor, you know, I'm not going to back down from anyone. And I don't think any of my teammates would say anything different.
Thanks, Deuce.
Ethan Bach.
Oh, this is perfect off of Justin's question, Deuce. We watch Cade play, and we know how good he is as a player, but what does he do in his play style is just so impressive to you?
He's really poised as a player. I think he understands that, you know, he's a lot bigger than obviously most guards. So he knows when to take guards down into the post. And obviously, we know he can step out and make shots and really controls the ball well. He really finds the open man really well. He just knows how to play the game really well. You can tell, you know, he's been doing it for a while, and they have a great system for him to really shine.
Back to Greg Hunter.
Deuce, you talked about it a little bit ago in terms of postseason. I mean, you played, 60-some games in your college career and haven't played a postseason game. So are there going to be nerves? Is postseason different? You guys only have a few guys that have actually played postseason with, you know, Derek and I guess Emmett and Jordan. So have you talked to them? What's this going to be like?
I mean, honestly, I can't tell you. They said it's a different experience. Obviously, when they were freshmen, you know, they weren't that good, and they ended up, you know, winning those 2 games. And, you know, it's going to be a different atmosphere. But like you said, it's still postseason basketball. So I think things are going to mean a little bit more every possession, you know, especially playing against other Big 12 teams and going into the tournament. Everything's going to mean just a lot more.
Keenan Cummings.
I'm not sure why I had my hand up. I actually took it down.
Okay. It's up right now, so please lower it. John Antoni. John, you're on mute.
All right. Hear me now?
Yep.
Hey, Deuce, you guys are 10-3 on the road or away from the Coliseum, 8-5 at home. Why do you think you guys have played better on the road this year?
Maybe it has to do with, you know, other teams not having as many fans in the crowd, or I think, you know, I personally like playing on the road a little better, you know, going into someone else's home and beating them. I think it means a lot more when you can quiet their crowd down and kind of take a road win away.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Carly Nevis.
Deuce, you mentioned Hugs calling you guys one of the worst defensive teams. How do you let that fuel you to prove him wrong?
Definitely got in here and watched film and try to understand why we're letting some of those things happen. But honestly, me being a heavy-minded defensive player, you know, that really grinds my gears, I guess I could say. Obviously, it's not something you want to be a part of, being one of the worst of anything. And I think it's going to be a lot of guys stepping up and showing a little bit more pride on defense.
Ryan Frick.
Hey, Deuce, a 2-parter. Just first of all, curious, when's the last time you played a basketball game that started in the morning? And second of all, you know, you mentioned you guys came out flat the last game. Do you think it's harder to get energy up when you start early, or does it matter to you guys?
Honestly, I don't know when last time I played an early morning basketball game, but like I said, a lot of it's going to be just us being ready to go early in the morning out there. I think it's going to come from just not being in a postseason game. So get energy from that. And, you know, I think they're going to be a little nervous from some guys, but overall we've been playing basketball our whole lives, and it's not going to be anything different.
Mike Pizzazza.
Hey, Deuce, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Going back on some of the experience points on your team and guys who have played, Emmett's one of those guys, and he's played pretty well in Marches in the past. Even that Baylor game last year wasn't a tournament, but important. Not to single it out, but a guy like him who does so many things that are valuable and has kind of been there and is on the floor an awful lot. Do others look at him and say, hey, really could use you right now. You've done this. You can help us out, and we can go further now.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to try to reach out to everybody. Everybody's going to play a huge part, and obviously those with more experience as younger guys, we got to, listen to them. Obviously the coaches, they've been there, done that, but when it's a player that, one of your peers have done it before, I think you listen a little more, and it's easier to talk to them than maybe it is a coach or, somebody on the staff. So looking to him, looking to Gabe, those are going to be huge for us.
Okay, Deuce, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.